Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here, please consider subscribing. I only got about maybe 50 followers, and it would be nice if I can get some more. So without begging, please follow. In any case, last time I took you into Casiano Homes or Casiano Courts in San Antonio, Texas. A lot of you know what that is. Today we're going to be going through the Vida Mendez projects. And we're talking about San Antonio, Texas and the West Side, which is where I'm from. And we're going to do a little cruise, just a 5-minute cruise. This is the most you're going to hear me talk, but I want to set the background a little bit. When people say West Side and they start talking about like Bandera and Newport 10, or they talk about the South Side, which some people still consider the West Side, Zarzamora Street down by downtown, I don't consider that the West Side. I mean, where I grew up, in between Guadalupe Street, the Las Palmas area, 19th Street, 21st Street, I'm going to show you a map here at the end of this video. And when you look at it, the circular ones on the bottom, that's the Casiano Homes Courts or the projects. And then the ones on top are the Vida Mendez ones. And they're still called Vida Mendez. But if you look on the bottom, they don't name the Casiano Courts anymore. But in any case, they're still there. And let me tell you what it was like when I was a kid. When I was a kid, and I was going there in elementary school in Carvajal. And then I went on to middle school in Rhodes Middle School. And Rhodes Middle School is still there. And that's off of 19th and near Zarzamora and 19th, I think. But in any case, it was a very dangerous area to grow up in. You pretty much had to wear steel-toe boots to go to school, and that was allowed back then until people started getting really, really hurt. And then they didn't allow it anymore when they caught on what we were doing. But me, myself, I was 80 pounds soaking wet. And I would get picked on a lot because I wasn't, 150 pounds. Now you're thinking there were no 150-pound middle schoolers. Well, back in the day there was, because they would flunk them. So they would flunk these guys that should have been in the 10th grade. Some of them supposed to be in the 11th grade. And they were over here as 8th graders, man. So they were 3 years kept behind, and then finally they kick them out of school. But you're talking about, 17-year-olds, 16-year-olds, in a middle school. So they weighed 150, 160, even 170. We had some big guys on there, and it was they were the bad kids, man. So they would beat up on us little kids that weighed under 100 pounds. I had a very tough childhood there, 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, but it is what it is. Another thing was, it was normal on the weekends, Friday, Saturday, sometimes on Sunday, to hear gunshots. Drive-bys were a thing back then in the 80s. 80, 85, 82, 83. You would hear gunshots throughout the whole neighborhood. And, it was normal for somebody to show up to school shot up. What happened to you? Oh, there was a drive-by at my house, and they're in a cast. Or, they're in a cast for the leg because they were asleep and they got shot in the legs and arms. It's very dangerous. You'd go to school and you'd see hypodermic needles on the ground, from the junkies that would shoot up and just throw the needles on the ground. It was terrible. Other things that I would see, you see prostitution everywhere. You see these ladies of the night trying to sell themselves on every corner. It was terrible. And dogs. Even my daughters noticed. They noticed. My daughters are like, I notice there's dogs all the time. Every single time there's dogs. They're loose and running about. And they're right. There was. Nobody ever kept their dogs on a leash or kept them closed in the fence. It was crazy. So you'd be just walking to school, and then some damn dog's trying to chase you down the street while you're getting to school. So anyways, we're going to go around there by the Vida Mendez courts. You're going to see some murals. And fun fact, I was part of a program that would paint those murals. And I got recognition for it. And I got a little certificate of helping the community and cover up graffiti. And I want to end it off by going down, I think, Zarzamora Street. And we're going to end up by Fred's Fish Fry. And then ultimately, I'm going to go eat some tacos in the end at Rocky's, which is still a pretty good place to go. It's cheap. The service is crappy, but I mean, the food is good. So without further ado, as they say, here's the video. Enjoy and like. Please follow, like, and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Thank you.